We have finished 54. Huh? To start 55. You mark this?
No, mark pannilla. 54.
Yes. 55.
55.
Realize that to be Brahman. What is that Brahman? Is being described in 2 or 3 verses. It ends Tad Brahma ityavadarayet. The slokas, we have 4 slokas, end with this word. Tad Brahma ityavadarayet. Know Brahman as this. The 54, verse number 54 said, realize that to be Brahman, the attainment of which leaves nothing more to be attained, the blessedness of which leaves no other bliss to be attained, and the knowledge of which leaves nothing more to be known. The highest knowledge, the highest bliss, the highest attainment is that. The next verse says, Tad drishtva naparam drishyam tad bhutva na punarbhavaha tad jnatva naparam jneyam tad brahma it avadarayet. Realize that to be Brahman, the Supreme Truth, one's own self, which, what is that? Which, when seen, leaves nothing more to be seen. When you see that, there is nothing else to be seen. You see everything. When you see that Brahman, you see everything, leaving nothing, not even an atomic particle which is left unseen. Yes. Having become which, one is not born again into the world of becoming. Yes. You transcend birth and death. And which, when known, leaves nothing else to be known. You become omniscient. Because Lord is omniscient, God is omniscient, Brahman, the self is omniscient. You realize that truth and you become omniscient. You know everything. Nothing else remains to be known. He refers to the Chandogya Upanishad mantra, which said, the master asked the student, have you ever asked for that instruction by which we hear what is unheard, by which we perceive what is unperceived, and by which we know what is unknown? And the unknown becomes known, the unperceived becomes perceived, the unheard becomes heard. By knowing this simple thing, the simple truth, what is this? We call it Brahman, we also call it Atman, the self, which we are, even now. Even now. Which everyone is, not only who read the Upanishads and study the Upanishads. Every being is that alone, even now, for all times. Even in the past, it was like that. In the future also it is like that. In the present also it is. That is the wonderful thing which you must know. It is not a thing. It is not something. It is not anything. It is not everything. No, it is not thing. It's not a person. Yet, by knowing which, we know everything. We see everything. We perceive everything. We understand everything. Brahman is the cause of everything, and therefore it exists in every effect, the so-called effect. Not that it has become in the effect. We only in a figurative sense we say Brahman is the cause of the world, because Brahman has not changed or created this world. God has not created this world as we now think, as something separate from Him. Then what is this world? Don't you see the world? You see the world. What is it? Brahman itself. Brahman itself. What is Brahman? Atman. All this, the whole plus something. It is not the arithmetical whole. The arithmetical whole of all finite things can only be a big finite. It cannot be the infinite. So it is not the mere arithmetical total of all the creation, whole of creation. It is not that. It is something more. Here the difficulty of understanding it. Now only the next verses will make it more clear. There is nothing other to it, yet no object is that. No object can be Brahman, the self, because it is an object. You yourself give the name object. That is something different from you. It is you who make it an object. It is not an object. What we call the object is the subject. We lose sight of the subjectivity and project their objectivity. This wrong notion, this wrong way of looking at things must be removed. The attempt of the masters and scriptures is only just to remove this confusion in our mind. They are not changing anything in this world. They are not telling you anything new in this world. They are just trying to remove our confused thinking. That is all. Remember this truth. The whole thing depends upon our removal of the wrong notions we are now entertaining about I, world, and God. They are not three things as we now think. They are not three entities. Brahman is the cause of everything. The reality underlying the effect is non-different from the reality underlying the cause. So in the outward external appearance, it seems to be a cause and effect, Brahman cause and world effect. But since the substance or the essence is the same in the cause and in the effect, we can say there is no cause-effect relationship here. That means there is no creation here, in the usual sense of the term creation. Are you following it? We are not telling you anything new. We are telling the state of affairs here, the true state of affairs. And our present condition is we have somehow seen what is not really there and missing to see what is really there. The example of the desk and the wood, gold and ornament, the snake and the rope, all these will help you. The next verse says the same thing. Tiryag urdham adapurnam satchidanandam advayam anandam nityam egam yattat brahma brahma ityavadharayet. Realize that to be Brahman, which is, again, so many attributes are given to Brahman, which is in one sense attributeless, in another sense which is everything, and therefore which is attributes also. Realize that to be Brahman, which is existence, knowledge, bliss, the absolute, which is non-dual and infinite. These are all adjectives qualifying the infinite being. Can the infinite being be qualified? Still, for our understanding, scriptures help us by giving these adjectives. They are only indicators. They just indicate. I told you before also, it is like a signboard which indicates Delhi, 200 kilometers, so much is there. It is very helpful for those who want to go to Delhi. Without that, they may go by the wrong route. But that is not Delhi anyhow. You cannot cling on to the signboard and say, I have gone to Delhi. However much it may be useful, it is not Delhi, it cannot become Delhi. Another example given by scriptures is the map. Delhi map is there. Very useful. For those who want to go to Delhi and see things there, the map is very useful, city map. But that is not Delhi. However much it may be useful, it can help you to see Delhi, but it is not Delhi. Similarly, these adjectives, however much they are helpful to some extent, but they are not the definitions of God, definitions of infinity, of the infinite being, which we already said so many times. It is beyond all words and beyond all thought also. How to meditate then? You are asked to meditate on Brahman. And we also say that it is beyond thought. Then what are you going to do? Think about this. Think about this apparent contradiction. He says it is beyond thought and intellect, and at the same time asks you to meditate regularly, morning and evening, as many times as possible. You are asked to meditate. Yes. Reflect over this. This is meditation. Reflection for the beginners, meditation is practically reflection. The real meditation comes later on. When the reflection is over, when your intellect is 100% convinced of the truth of the statement here. Your intellect, when it is convinced of that truth completely, then you can start real meditation. And it is not thinking. There, the meditation is not thinking through the mind. It is something deeper. Realize that to be Brahman, which is existence, knowledge, bliss absolute, which is non-dual, infinite, eternal, and one. And one. No manyness, that is the meaning. Not the small number one. The infinite cannot be number one. It is to deny the manyness. The scripture says it is one. One and non-dual, besides which there cannot be anything. which fills all that exists between. Which fills all that exists here. In the space in between us is filled by that. Not only you are the Atman, I am the Atman, he is the Atman. What about the space? It fills. That space also is filled by that, which is subtler than space. And therefore our sense organs are not able to perceive it. Adadvyavritti rupena Vedandai lakshade advayam Aghandanandam egam yat tad brahma ityavadariyet. Realize that to be Brahman. Something more is given to help us to know the truth, which is non-dual. It is not one, it is non-dual. Indivisible, Again, the word one is here. One, to deny the manyness, and blissful, free of all sorrow and miseries, and which is indicated by Vedanta as the irreducible substratum after the negation of all tangible objects. We have discussed about this, the negation of all tangible objects. All objects have birth and death. They are limited in space and time. God cannot be limited in space and time, and He has no birth and death. So no object can be said to be that. For this reason, negate everything as not that. And what will be the result when you negate every object in this world as not Brahman? What will be the result? Where will you be? You will reach nothing. When everything is negated, you reach nothing. A void, a vacuum. And the wise masters tell us that is not it. That is also a thing. Nothing. Nothing also is a thing, isn't it? You are asked to negate all things, all objects. So you have to negate that nothing also. Just do it and see through your intellect, through your mind. When that nothing is negated, nothing is also negated. When everything is negated, you get at nothing. When that nothing also is negated, you get the fullness, the infinity. No words can describe that, because all words you have already negated. Even the absence of the words nothing you have negated. What will be there then? That is the, we give the name to it. That is the self. It is not an object. Don't look here and there for the self. It is the self in every cell of our being, even in the space, in every object, in every atom, in every subatomic particle, it is there. It is that which is there. It is that alone which is there. All that appears to our eyes and our sense organs is that alone. Are you noting the contradiction at least in my statements? And you agree to the contradictions? You don't question why you are contradicting? We said nothing is there, and then immediately that it is followed by the latter half of the statement that everything is that. Nothing is that, everything is that. Sarvam kalvidam Brahma. Neti, neti. These are the technical terms in the Upanishads. Neti, neti means not this, not this. Thus, no, twice it is stated, and I have pointed out the significance of repeating it twice. When you negate everything, you reach nothing. Still, as I said, is a thing. That also has to be negated. And you reach. Do it and see. By hearing this alone, you cannot understand it. You must practice this. Do it. Negate. Sit down calmly in your room and practice this. For the simple reason that an object Every object, including the whole of the cosmos, has birth and death. It cannot be the self which is eternal. For this reason, negate everything as not this. You reach nothing. Negate that nothing also and see what happens. Do it. Aghantananda rupasya tasya ananda lavashritaha brahmadya taratamyena bhavanti anandino lavaha. Deities, great deities whom we worship, like Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Indra, taste only a particle of the unlimited bliss of Brahman and enjoy. In proportion, they are shares of that particle, rising the bliss of Brahman that you are going to get by knowing this. What is the bliss, nature of bliss that you are going to get? This is the ocean of bliss, of which the great deities like Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Indra, etc. are tasting only a particle, a drop. We worship them as great deities, but their happiness is only a drop in the ocean of the bliss of your Atman, which you are going to enjoy by knowing this truth.
It means we cannot enjoy the whole ocean of bliss.
Does it mean we cannot enjoy the whole ocean of bliss?
Who?
We cannot enjoy.
we-
Even they enjoy only a drop.
The great
So
great
we cannot enjoy the full.
You cannot enjoy. But you are that, you are becoming that. You are it is you are the ocean and they enjoy only a small drop there. Now in our ignorance we worship them. Not that you should not worship, I don't say that, don't misunderstand things. You continue your worship of deities, it is good. It will purify your mind. Only a purified mind will understand this. And that purification has to be done by worship of deities. Japa, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, all these. Bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, karma yoga, all these are prescribed for us to purify the mind. And when the mind is purified, these truths reflect themselves automatically. You need not try. You need not put forth much effort. When the mind is purified, this truth alone is known. The intellect will know this truth fully, not enjoying, as I said, you become the bliss. You become the ocean of bliss. You become that. You are Brahman. A knower of Brahman is not a knower, but Brahman himself. That is the statement of the scripture. These are not in praise of the knowledge. These are all more than actual truth. They are all facts, concrete truth, as concrete as that yonder mountain. This hard mountain, concrete. These are harder than that, truths. Have faith. Have faith. And follow the instructions. Merely faith alone will not solve the problem. Instructions must be followed, understood.
It's 8. So you have read 58.
58.
You have read this.
Yes. Deities like Brahma and Indra taste only a particle of the unlimited bliss of Brahman and enjoy in proportion their shares of that particle. All this is referred to in the Upanishads like Taittiriya Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad in great detail. Those who are interested can read them. This is an essence of all that. How there are different grades of gods or deities. Just like there are in human beings, there are different grades in social status. There in the gods also there are like that. So smaller gods, bigger gods, greater gods, and so on and so on. And they proportionately enjoy more and more happiness. The highest God being Brahma, he enjoys the highest happiness. And the totality of all these happinesses enjoyed by all these gods and human beings and all beings in this creation is only a drop in the ocean of the bliss of yourself, the self in all. Know this, and you will become that bliss, not enjoy. For enjoyment, you must separate yourself from that. Then duality will be there. The truth is non-dual. There is no question of enjoyer, enjoyment, and the enjoyed. You transcend the triad. You become the bliss. You become the supreme knowledge. You become the supreme existence. You are already that. You are going to know it, that's all. You are not again becoming. The word becoming is a figurative usage. You are already that. You are going to realize it. Tadyuktam akhilam vastu vyavahara tadanvidaha tasmat sarvagadam brahma kshire sarpirivahile. All objects are provided by Brahman, even as all furniture is provided by wood, all clothes are provided by thread. You know the meaning of privation? In this privation, there is nothing called provider and the provided. Although the word used is privation, if you analyze the examples here, you will find there are no two things, one pervading the other. There is only one thing. The other is an appearance. All objects are pervaded by Brahman. Therefore, objects are appearances, and what is there is Brahman alone, consciousness alone, the self alone. All actions are possible because of Brahman. Not only all objects and things, all actions are also there. They are also manifestations of that Supreme. Infinite is the nature of the actions. Infinite is the nature of the actor. Infinite is the nature of the result of actions. Infinite is the nature of whole creation, which is not different from the Creator who is also infinite. Purnamada, we are chanting. every day. What does it say? That is full, infinite. This is also. Can there be two fulls? No. Two holes there cannot be. Only one hole. Showing that there is no creation as we now wrongly think. World is there. We don't deny the world. Who can deny the world? Are we not in the world? You are sitting there, I am sitting here, I am speaking. We see the world, and then to say merely there is no world is meaningless, mere sounds and meaningless sounds. So no scripture will say that, no sage will say that. What is denied is the existence of a world separate from the self. The existence of a dusk separate from the wood is denied. Not the dusk. Remember this example. All objects are perceived by Brahman. All actions are possible because of Brahman. You wink your eyes because of the self, of the power of the self. You know the power in an atom, how much energy it is there. What about the whole creation? How much energy will be there? And what will be the power of that Supreme Being who is manifesting as this creation? You cannot wink your eyes without his power, without the power of the Atma. You cannot breathe. We are breathing because of the power of that Supreme Being. Therefore, Brahman permeates everything, literally. Permeates, as wood permeates the furniture, as thread permeates the cloth. Therefore, Brahman permeates everything as butter permeates milk. Another example is new example. Butter permeates milk. Where is it? You cannot locate it. You cannot see it. When the milk is there, you cannot see the butter. But it is there. It permeates the whole of it, whole of milk. Brahman pervades all objects as existence, cognizability, and attraction. And that is Priya. That is, he used the word Ati, Bhadi, Priya. Three words which are almost the same as Sat, Chit, Ananda. What is real is the phenomenal. What is real in the phenomenal world is Brahman, even as what is real in the dust is wood. All actions such as hearing, seeing, smelling, touching and tasting, these actions are possible for men because Brahman dwells in them as consciousness. Remember this. When you are seeing, you are conscious of it. Because of your consciousness you are seeing. Our mind is on the object seen. We forget the seer. Remember that. Remember, because the consciousness is there, I am seeing. What is there? The object. There also there is consciousness. Otherwise we will not be able to see it. Consciousness cannot contact an object. Consciousness can contact only consciousness. The very fact that I am seeing you, I am consciousness and you are also consciousness. And therefore there is contact between us. Know this truth. As the butter is extracted from milk through churning, so Brahman can be separated as though you had from names and forms through intense meditation. you'll understand this. You can see the butter. You are the butter. Though Brahman permeates all the objects of the phenomenal world, yet all remains untouched by their attributes. Because attributes are also there. Anonu, Astulam, Ahriswam, Adirgam, Ajam, Avyayam. Arupa, Guna Varnakyam, Tad Brahma Itavadari. Again, a set of negations is given here. Realize that to be Brahman which is neither subtle nor gross, nor causal. No words can describe it. Yet it is everything. The cloth is thread alone. But then why do you call it cloth? They used to it as a name, an appearance, may call it, an appearance. But here there is some place for appearance in the example. But in the absolute, there is no question, there is no place for appearance also. The appearance also is that. Are you following it? I don't know. In the example, we may say it is an appearance. But in the world, can you say world is an appearance? The God is something and world is an appearance. Here, when you say the cloth is an appearance, you again make a distinction between thread and cloth. Thread is the substance and cloth is an appearance. Again, you are making a difference. The purpose of the example is to eliminate this difference. The example in the cloth and thread is to understand that there is nothing other than thread in the cloth. Are you following that? You have to agree to that. Then where is the question of appearance? You again bring in some appearance there, unreal appearance. It is thread alone. Why don't you call it thread alone? But our habit of calling it a cloth is there, which obstructs. You have to understand, in the case of the Supreme Being, there is no appearance of the world. There are no two things as world and God. Then what is it? Is it word or God?
God alone.
It is unnameable. It has no name. Yet all names are His names alone. Remember the number of Sahasranamams we have got. How many gods are there? And each god has got an infinite number of names, showing symbolically that all names are His names alone. There is no appearance here.
It means name and form is also God.
Pardon?
Name and form also are God.
Right, finally. Yes. I have to understand. Name, form, thought, word, what not. Everything is that and that alone. It is not appearance. Appearance is used, we are told that it is an appearance as a concession. Suddenly we cannot, scriptures cannot tell us suddenly all this is God. We will not understand it. Therefore we are taken step by step. Finally, we are in the close of the book, we have to now give up this appearance also. Yes, there is no appearance here. Only God alone is. Where are you now?
The meaning is
You
60. Meaning.
realize that to be Brahman, which is neither subtle nor gross, neither short nor long, without birth and change, without form, qualities or color. All these are appellations. Negating every possible thing in one sense and in the same breath including everything and transcending all. Negate everything first, then include everything, and then transcend everything. It is neither inclusion nor exclusion, because it is beyond mind and beyond intellect. And yet, everything that we see by the five sense organs and the mind is that and that alone. There is nothing other to it here. Be certain about it. It is not a mere statement in the scripture by some old sages in olden days. No, it is the present truth. It is the eternal truth. Yes. Nobody can change it. The eternal truth remains as the eternal truth. What about the changing nature of the universe? That is also eternal. Yeah. That changing nature is changeless. Yeah. And the truth is beyond the changing and changeless nature. The world is ever changing, and the ever changing nature is changeless. Isn't it? And truth transcends the changing and the changeless nature. Transcends doesn't mean cancelling. It includes and transcends. When you say includes, you don't say God is changing. Don't say that. Don't say God is not changing. Don't. What is about? What will you say then? It is beyond words. Beyond words. It is beyond thought. You just time. We'll continue to. Yes.
Mano buddhya hankara citta vinaham najasotra jiviti
Na jaro
na bhumi na tejo na vayu chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham sachidananda rupa shivoham shivoham naja prana sangyo na vai pancha vayu na vasa tathatu na va pancha kosha na va paripadau na chopasthapayu chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham sachidananda rupa shivoham shivoham nane Mado naiva me naiva matsarya bhava na dharmo na chartho na kamo na moksha chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham sachidananda rupa shivoham shivoham na punyam na papam na saukyam na dukkham na mantro na tirtham na veda na yajna aham
Discussing the meaning of Purnamada Purnamidam. We have already finished the mantra, accepting Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We have to continue that. Here, remember the essence, the arguments, the interpretations of the words contained in the small mantra, which logically lead us to the unique, wonderful conclusion that there is no creation at all here. other to God. Other to that infinite being. There is no creation. Creation is there. It's not creation. Why do you call it creation? When there is no creator, God is not the creator. Although scriptures do speak about creation by God, they have got to be understood with a pinch of salt, not literally interpreted. This mantra and the whole of the Upanishad proves logically that what we see through our five sense organs and the mind, what we experience during the waking state, dream state and the deep sleep state, through the five sense organs and the mind, and also what we experience in their absence in the deep sleep. Yes. All this, without any exception, is the experience of God, not experience of objects. I experiencing some object, you are experiencing something. No, not this. These are different names given to that one experience, which is divine experience. There is no, in a way of speaking, that the experiencer experienced and the experiencing, but from a transcendental point, these three are not distinct. Let them be there, but don't see difference among the three: the experiencer, the I, the experienced, that is the objects of the world, persons and things, and the process of experiencing or knowing. All the three are different names given to that one reality, which is, call him God or Atman or Brahman or consciousness or self, any name you can give. This is the essence of the meaning of the Shanti mantra of the Brihadaranya Upanishad. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti 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 means Om peace, peace, peace. The literal translation. We always recite this peace chant 3 times, indicating that there should be peace in the 3 realms, or in 3 ways, or freedom from the 3 sources of trouble in this world. Therefore we chant it 3 times. The sources of trouble in this world are grouped under 3 categories. We want freedom from trouble from all the 3 sources. And therefore we chant it, we say Shanti, Shanti, Shanti thrice. We have 3 principal kinds of trouble. All these 3 are to cease, and peace is to prevail, is the prayer that we make through this Shanti mantra. There is no other prayer here. I want this, I want that, I want worldly prosperity, I want progeny, I want wealth. None of this prayer is there in this mantra. Mantra is a statement of fact. all this is God. Many of the mantras. That is supposed to be the best prayer that is possible. Not asking for something from God. There is nothing which is fit enough or great enough to be asked from God. If you go to a king, you don't ask him for a cup of tea or a few paisa. You ask something in comparison with the status of the king. Something like that. When you think of God, there is no object in this world which can be asked from God, because everything is like a tinsel for him. Your greatest wealth or billions of dollars is all tinsel for him. He should not ask such a thing from God. So the great scriptures, masters say, the best prayer is to know Him, to know what God is, to know that the self is not different from God. This is the best prayer, the best knowledge, the best prayer. But here something is added, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. A small prayer is there. I want to be freed from the pains of this world, which come to me from three sources. And as you read and as you understand the meaning of that, even that is not a prayer. You find it. And not asking for something. Again, it is a knowledge of the truth. Only this knowledge of the truth can give you this, will grant you this prayer. Not God. God cannot give you anything. God is the infinite being. God does not know that we are here. Yes. That there is a world. Because He has not created the world. From this point of view, there is no world here. Yes. This is not blasphemy. Don't mistake it. We are trying to understand the Upanishad truth, the greatest truth, the greatest declaration ever made by man. Purnamada Purnamidam. That is the whole, this is the whole. There cannot be two wholes, and therefore that is this. That means cause, this means the effect. That means God, this means the world. We always recite this peace chant 3 times, indicating that there should be peace in the 3 realms, or in 3 ways, or freedom from the 3 sources of trouble. We have 3 principal kinds of trouble, and all these 3 are to cease and peace is to prevail. We have trouble from within, 1. Trouble from without, 2. And trouble from above, 3. This threefold problem is known as Tapatraya in Sanskrit. If there is a heavy flood, or there is an earthquake, a thunderbolt, or a destruction of this kind caused by factors beyond human range, such catastrophe is referred to as supernatural. And it in Sanskrit we call it Adi Deviga Tapa. Something connected with God, the supernatural. When troubles come from outside, as those from animals, reptiles, wicked persons, etc., they are known as Adi Bhautika Tapa. When troubles come from inside, such as illness, sorrow, born of mental confusion and the like, they go by the name Adhyatmika Tapa. They merely appear to be three, again, though it is categorized as three, they are not three different sources, this is all one. They merely appear to be three from outside. There is a threefold appearance of a single problem, and it cannot be solved by any amount of intellectual logic, because it is ingrained in the very being of the individual. It is neither outside nor superhuman nor nothing. It's all in us, in each one of us. The suffering is here. The thought of sorrow is a thought in us. Whether it is caused by something else, even that is a thought in us. I think that it has been caused by somebody, something outside. The thought is in me and not outside. And the suffering is in me and not outside. It is because it is ingrained in the very being of the individual. The three tapas. May this vidya, the supreme vidya, supreme knowledge of the Shanti Mantra of the Upanishad, or the whole Upanishad itself, may this knowledge, the wisdom of the Upanishad, bring peace by causing the cessation of this threefold sorrow. May there be peace everywhere. Only this knowledge can bring in peace, freedom from so-called threefold sorrows. And the realization is not curing the ills by different means, but understanding that there are no ills here, no sufferings here, no cause for suffering. All this is that Supreme Being alone, putting on, if necessary, if we may say, putting on the appearance of this world. Even that is only as a concession. He has not put on any appearance. The world is He. The dusk is the wood. This dusk is wood. Wood has not changed by putting on the appearance of a dusk. The wood remains as the wood. We call it a dusk. When we call it a dusk, the wood doesn't go away. Wood alone is called by the name dusk. God alone is called by all names that we know, by all the words in the dictionary. Do you accept? Do you agree? Yeah. Any question or doubt in the logical argument that we are forwarding here? This is the statement of the scripture, the Shanti mantra. As I said, the mantra comes in the original, the middle of the text also. When it is further explained by the commentator, here he has given in short the essence of the meaning of the mantra. The essence is that this world is non-different from God. Not only the world, anything that happens, not only the objects, all that happenings, incidents, being and doing are non-different. The Upanishad proper begins with the contemplation of the sacrifice, which is called Ashwamedha. It is a contemplation, it is a meditation, it is a vidya, it is a knowledge, not the actual performance of the sacrifice, which used to be done in the olden days by kings and emperors. That is here taken up for meditation purposes. The Veda in the hymn called the Purusha Sukta contemplates the universe as a vast sacrifice of God. Creation is an othering. He has coined a word, may not be in the dictionary. What is other, other than this, other than that other. He has made it into a verb, othering. Creation is an othering or self-alienation of the Absolute. Appears to be other, just like the wood appears to be a dusk. The dusk is an othering of the wood, you may say, in that sense. For want of words, proper words to describe God, of course, commentators, interpreters, they coin their own words. Yes. Many words have been coined like that. Creation is an othering or self-alienation of the Absolute. The Absolute, which is the Purnam, referred to in the mantra. It is not an actual othering, it is as it were. It has not become other. The wood has not changed again here. Not that point. The wood has not changed. Woodness I am referring to. You may say the shape has changed, it has been polished, and don't think of such things. The woodness in the dust, the woodness has not changed. If at all is there change, if you see a change, it is as it were, as though. It is not real. Here is a symbolic concept. Again, as it were, I'm sorry. Here is a symbolic concept of the original sacrifice. The Purusha means the Supreme Being became an other to himself as though. in the act of the manifestation of the universe. They have not really become the other. All this is explained to us, ignorant persons who have not known the truth in our language, which we can understand. The truth is beyond all language, all words. What has happened here cannot be expressed in words, but you can know it, you can realize it, you can perceive it, you can experience it, and perhaps even now you are experiencing it. Still, it can be expressed in words. Language, the power of language is very, very limited, at least when we take into consideration God, the Absolute. But the Supreme was as if another, but not truly. For he nevertheless remained as the absolute self-conscious being, and he knew himself as I am. That's the best expression for God. I am. So God has come very, very near us now. It's not, you don't look up here and there for God. It is the I am. Not the thought. Of course, we know only the thought now. But behind the thought, I am. After this, all thoughts come. Thoughts emerge only from this center which is I am, or I. But the Supreme was as if, again, everywhere the words as if or as it were or as though is used to show that you should not interpret these things literally. He has already said in the Shanti Mantra that there is no creation. Now we are trying to speak something about creation. How this world has come. So we use the word always, as though, as it were, as if, and so on. For he nevertheless remained as the absolute self-conscious being. Shanti Mantra said, the last line of the mantra, say, what does it say? Purnat Purnamudachyade Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyade. After this infinite world has come from that infinite God, what remains is the infinite being. Are there three infinite beings? The original first infinite being, then the infinite creation, which is the world, and then what remains after that, another infinite being. All this is figurative, to show again that there is no creation separate from God, other to God. The othering is an expression as a concession. Yeah. For us, in our present state of consciousness, we have wrong notion that God is separate from this world. Yes, it is there, deep rooted in us. It is in the blood. How can God be this world? Who will agree? How the world is God is not as layman thinks. World cannot be God, because world is changing, world is perishable. A tree is there, tree cannot be God. Tree was born a few years back and it is going to die after a few years. Does God also was born? Was he also born? And is he going to die when the tree dies? So to understand that everything is God is to be modified with this understanding that it is not to be taken literally, but the import behind these words and the limitation of the language, all these have to be taken into consideration. When they say God is world, there is no othering here. God alone is. Then we say, well, God appears as the world, or God manifests as the world, or God expresses himself as the world. The grossest form is God has created this world. All these are given in the scriptures, and the difficulty of understanding the scripture is this. Literal interpretation only mislead us, will cause confusion. And he knew himself as I am. Creation is starting now. Even the biblical parlance, in the biblical parlance, we have the description of God as I am that I am. I am that. So, almost corresponding to Aham Brahmasmi. And another I am is there.
That I am. I am that I am.
I am that I am.
What I am. I am what I am.
I am what? You want to interpret it again literally, grammatically? Nothing will happen. One cannot say anything else about God. I am is the highest description of God. This Upanishad is in many places, more than half a dozen places, is going to tell us that the best definition of God is neti neti. Not this, not this. Not what is. They are not contradictions. The saying that I am is the best expression of defining God. And neti neti, that is the best expression. All these have to be reconciled. Again, the difficulty of language, limitation of language, causes all these things. One cannot say anything else about God. I am is the highest description of God. But the Absolute is supposed to be transcendent even to this condition of I amness of the universal nature. Because the state of I am is self-consciousness, though it is universal. So the Absolute is beyond this I amness also. What word can you give? So they say it is beyond words and thought. Yet they do give some name, Brahman, Atman, Absolute, etc. And then the transcendental being. Yeah. Can you understand the transcendental being? It's a word. Transcendental means it transcends the intellect, the individual intellect. How can the intellect understand the transcendental? Still it is a word. And we have formed a concept which cannot be transcendental. It is a limited concept of the mind. But he used the word transcendental freely, even as he used the word Brahman, Atman so freely, as he have understood it. As if it is something outside us. When he used the word Brahman, Atman, surely the thought that it is not me, something outside is there. Yes. Brahman, you So, in the phraseology of the Vedanta, a distinction is drawn between this universal I am, the I am condition, the universal I am condition, and the absolute as it is. The distinction between Brahman and Ishvara spoken of in this philosophy. You must have heard about these two also, Brahman and Ishvara. And it's also not beyond dispute among philosophers. Krishna himself raised that question. Ishvara and Brahman used in the introduction to the to the Brahma Sutras by Shankara. He put that question to Swami. No, he's present Swami. And they said, they somehow, because they did not, the question was not answered, but they promised to give some answer or something like that. That Vishishtadvaita is prominent in the introductory portion of Shankara. Then Advaita. All these are for philosophers. We as sadhaks, we are not going to be philosophers. We are sadhaks here. We want to know the truth. We are not worried about the names. Again, whether it is Advaita philosophy, or Vishishtadvaita, or Dvaita, or idealism, or realism, or nihilism, all these names are there. And those who follow these philosophies quarrel among themselves and cancel among themselves. Therefore we are safe. All are cancelled by themselves. And sadhak is very safe. You can go beyond all these and understand the truth, grasp the truth. Yes. Don't hold on to even to the Advaita philosophy. It is as a philosophy. You have to contradict other philosophies. You have to quarrel with others. Why unnecessarily? About God, the description of which we are now trying to know. Can any philosophy tell us about this? In words. They say, they use words and ask us to go beyond the words. They do give us words, but they say don't interpret them literally. Then no, where to go? So we have to get it from our own self. It is not from the words and from the books. Although they are all help, they are necessary. We should study the Upanishad, we should contemplate over it. All this is necessary, but understand that the thing in itself, as Kant puts it, the thing in itself, no? What you call the self or Atman is not outside, not that it is inside this body. It is not something to be called a thing. It cannot be limited. It cannot be different from us. The two defects pointed out in the Chandogya Upanishad in meditation, which we generally commit. We think God as an object and different from us. That is why we meditate. It is an object for us. It is limited and outside you. Don't commit this mistake. Avoid these two mistakes in your meditation, says the Chandogya Upanishad, which we read a few days back. Remember this? So here the distinction is now Ishvara and Brahman. Are there two persons sitting there? One called Brahman and another called Ishvara. Read the commentaries of Acharya Shankara, he makes it clear. Brahman is the absolute and Ishvara is the so-called creator, protector and destroyer of this world. This work of creation, protection and destruction, we don't want to view this and place it on the head of Brahman, who is the absolute. Let him be the absolute. Don't make him a creator or protector or destroyer. But in our present level of consciousness, we cannot avoid these concepts of a creation of this world, because we see a world here. We want the cause. We want to know who created this and when it is going to dissolve. Then we speak of all creation, protection and destruction. And now Ishvara becomes three, Shiva, Vishnu and Brahma, suddenly. One Ishvara, which was conceived to explain the truth, now again becomes three, as the creator God, protector God and the destroyer God. Don't think all these are unreal. Don't suddenly jump to the conclusion that, all these are unreal, Brahman alone is real. Don't think like that. We have already seen our Purnamada Purnamidam. Every concept, every word, every thought, every action, every object, every atom is that. So don't misunderstand things. When you study philosophy, there is a likelihood of misunderstanding. And especially when you say the three concepts of Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva are mere concepts. They are all mere concepts only. And this body, this is real. And keeping this body a solid reality, we cannot say Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva are concepts. They are more real than this body. Yes. They have to be worshipped. They have to be meditated upon. They have their own places in the scheme of Lord realization. Their worship, their meditation, The understanding of their nature are helpful for the purification of the mind. When the mind is purified, all these doubts will vanish. Doubts about these trinities, even the difference between Ishvara and Brahman referred to in this text, all this will vanish at one stroke when you perceive the truth. Till then, these distinctions are there, will be there. Body is there. As long as this body is there, all these are as real as this body. The heavenly worlds, the hellish worlds, all these referred to in the scriptures. Don't think they are all unreal. If this body is real, they are also real. When this body becomes unreal, they will also become unreal. To whom then? To whom does it become unreal? When this body is not there. When this body is realized as the Supreme Being, then all these become the Supreme Being. Even the hells, yes. When God is there, how can there be a hell? When God is all pervasive, somebody raised the question. When God is all pervasive, everybody agrees. He is in the hell also, isn't it? When He is there, how can it be a hell? Reflection is more important than hearing. Hearing is 10%, reflection is 85%, and meditation is only 5%. Reflection is most important to clear all these doubts. Make sure of the position. What are you going to meditate? What is the truth? Some truth has to be meditated. What is the truth? What is the conclusion? You arrive at through reflection after hearing the scriptures, after hearing from our masters. Reflect over them. Make it your own. I must make it my own. It should not be a second-hand information got from some scriptures or from masters. They are helpful. We approach them, we worship them, we get their help. But the instructions given by them should not be treated as second-hand information. They must be made our own. Then we can sit for meditation. And meditation will not review them. Not that you need to go to meditation. Meditation will take you. Yes. All doubts will be cleared. What is stated here? Purnamada Purnamidam. Very difficult to understand easy in the early stages. But it will become crystal clear. Crystal clear. Yes. We'll stop here. We'll continue.
निर्मलस्य गुदस्नानं वस्त्रं विश्वोदरस्य च अधोत्रस्य वर्णस्य कुदस्तस्योपवीतम् निर्लेपस्य कुतो गन्धः पुष्पं निर्वासनस्य च निर्विशेषस्य का भूषा अलङ्कारो निराकृते निरञ्जनस्य किन्दूपै दीपै सर्वसाक्षिणः निजानन्दैकदुत्तस्य नैवेद्यं किं भवेदिह विश्वानन्दयुतस्य किं ताम्बूलं प्रकल्पते स्वयं प्रकाशचित्रूपो योऽसावत्कालिमासकः प्रदक्षिणायनन्तस्य यद्वयस्य कुतो नति वेदवाक्येन वेद्यस्य कुतः स्तोत्रं विधीयते स्वयं प्रकाशमानस्य कुतो नीराजनं विभो अन्तर्बहिश्च पूर्णस्य कथम् उद्वासनं भवेत् एवमेव परा पूजा सर्वावस्थासु सर्वदा एकबुद्ध्या तु देवेशे विधेया ब्रह्मवित्तमैः आत्मा त्वं गिरिजापति सचरा प्राणा शरीरं गृहम् पूजा ते विषयो भवो रचना निद्रा समाधिस्थितिः सञ्चारपदयो प्रदक्षिणविधि स्तोत्राणि सर्वा गिरो यद्यत् कर्म करोमि तत्तदखिलं शम्भो तवाराधनम् करचरणकृतं वा कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसं वा पराणं विहितमविहितं वा सर्वमेतत् क्षमस्व जय जय रघुनाथ श्री